Hello everyone, this is a scene demo for Ringleader and the ref posing or model posing script that Juan Sanchez and myself, Kayvon Acosta, put together so that you can grab a model, pose it in different positions, and scroll back between any one of those poses. It may be useful for when creating custom animations or reference keyframes for your models, at least on a temporary basis. Of course, none of this work is what's going to be done by an animator. This is going to be very useful for them to refer to different poses, but suffice it to say, for now we need temporary reference animations or keyframes, and uh, while we don't have an official animator, we are going to have to make do with these. From Mixamo, I downloaded a character called Liam, and it's found in that folder. We can view it. I think I have created a prefab. Let's see. That was not it. It's Liam. Here we go. We also added a little bow tie so that we can um, make it look like a ref even more. And we're going to place that inside of Liam's spine. Let's see. You gotta go exactly to the correct bone or joint at the neck. Place that bow tie at the neck. Like so. Alright, so that means that if we now grab the spine and rotate it, yep, it'll be moving along with it. So we have a ref ready to go. And we're going to also modify this Liam to, I think the correct size should be for the model 1.2 scale factor. That's good enough. The other boxers are about that same size. So this mat here is a stretched out cube, and it's not meant to be the ring that we're using right now, but it'll do for now. So this is what we have to do. We have to grab this asset here. We're going to make our own prefab for it. So now we can continue to refer to it along with the bow tie. And we're going to give to this prefab the animation controller that is included in the animation package. When we go to the animator, it should have different animations. Even if these animations aren't in there, we can delete them. We're going to have to recreate them anyway. Start here, create, staring or stand. Why just stand? That'll be our default one. And one of the things that we have to do is rig this entire animation for stand with all the keyframes that we're going to need. These properties are found in here from the Mixamo hips on the transform, especially on its, for this one it'll be its position and its rotation. We're going to start adding every single one of these here. This transform. This will take a little bit of time. Whatever's not included in there. Also, eventually going to add a script that's going to let us see all of these, and we're going to do the same thing on both. So while I'm doing this, remember the purpose of all of this activity is, well, to have reference positioning for the characters. One of the biggest problems with 3D environments is that when we design them, we don't have a full understanding of the sense of scale. If it weren't for shadow, if it wasn't for distances traveled over time, it's all 3D games require a lot of testing in that form so that the players understand proper sense of scale, proper sense of direction, such as lighting, such as sound, environmental effects, and it's very tedious work. That's why for a lot of game level design, we do what's called gray boxing, which is we grab a whole scene and we make it basically the reference imagery for, that's all the right leg, toe base, reference spacing, and without textures, without anything. And if you have seen professional Quake players, they play without textures, without special effects, without anything to distract them or get in the way of their understanding of the distances found in the world. So, for animation, the interesting thing about animations is that we don't have a good sense of timing. Animations need squashing, stretch and squash, where if you look at a flip book, when you do the little animation of a ball bouncing in each one of the pages, you'll see that right toe base, right toe end. You'll see that you'll get a better result if you also allow for the ball to morph and squash and stretch, so that the viewer understands how the ball changes over time. For this game, we have two different boxers who are hitting each other, and each hit has to feel like it was done at the right place at the right time. And we need to know that things that react to those punches, such as the ropes or the referee, etc. That one's taken up. Every one of those movements makes sense. feels like you wouldn't need extra or additional cues. If we were watching this game via VR headset, we know instinctively the differences between uh, how far something is from any one of the players. But since the majority of the games in 3D are designed for a screen that does not have that kind of tell, then we have to do as best as we can. This is really limited right now. As you can tell, it's not one of the easiest tasks. Oof. I think forearms, as far as we're going to go. I'm not going to do the hands. I might need to do that. Come on. It's fine. Okay, up to the hand. That's it. Now the right hand. Oof, this is the part where you can speed up to a time code in the future. Make sure you just skip to where you need to. The part that we'll be skipping to is where we're adding the animator. I hope I'll have a different position so that you can tell a little bit better on the future of this. I'm having a hard time being able to edit these, so um, thank you for bearing with. Rotation, arm, right. And that's one for the hand. Okay. We're also only doing rotations because positions will change the skin of all of this. Last one here is for the head. The head should not be that many. Neck, transform, position, and property. Neck. For the head. Okay. So see, it creates all of these keyframes here. The entire animation should last 1 second. So if we were to grab this one here and we rotated that from this time code to this one, well, it wasn't recording it, so now it's recording it. So now if I were to do this, it would be doing a weird thing like that. But we're not doing that, so So we have this rig here. Let's move it a little bit closer. This is the first, just the regular stand. Okay. So if we were to twist it, that's on the hip. Wanted to twist the hip like this. That'll move the whole thing. But from this leg, see, if we wanted to stretch it like that, it's good. Now I'll show you what the we want to get rid of that. What's this rotation right here? Let's undo all of this. We don't want that leg to be. Oh, no, we do want those keyframes for sure. What is that? Left leg. That's the right leg. Yeah. No rotation on that one. Zero rotation. So it's standard as they come. Okie dokie. That's recorded. Okay. So if we create another keyframe from here to there, nothing's happening. If we grab one specific one and rotate it, then from here to there it'll do that, but we are not recording that, so saving it like that, and we're not creating all those keyframes. This is a standard animation. Okay. Now, all that's stored here on the animator, and that's where when we play the game, this character will stay right there. Now let's add the skeleton posing utility. Should we do it right there? We have to do the same thing for all of this. Okay, all these joints need to be recorded the same way that these are added in there. So what we are going to do is we're going to start adding joints. And start adding the hips. Notice that it's adding node one at a time for every one that we got up there, all the way to toe base, and just to make it the same as the one that we have over there. I select here, where's that one? Foot. We're duplicating, in a way, the information that Unity has on its animation clip creator. And we're doing that so that when we pose or look for poses or fix poses onto this script, we can grab the reference animation that it creates for the rotations of each one of those joints. Okay, so we can read it better. That one. forearm, left hand. Okay. Now we're going to add, let's do the neck. The head. As far as we got there. And now we don't need to add the bow tie. Bow tie is always just going to be tied to wherever the neck is. One thing that we want to do is lock this character like that, so that now if we select out of it, we can still select, we'll still highlight it. And now that we've done that, we're going to record this pose. Well, actually, let's do a more useful pose. Just hands down. Oh, this doesn't have a... You have to... give it a right shoulder. We don't have a left shoulder. There, give it a left shoulder. Okay, there we go. Oh boy, if I did this wrong. What's the right? Find left shoulder. Let's see, something happened around here with that one. Element number 23. 13, to the spine. Spine 2. Oh, there it is. Okay, skip to this time. Sorry. Now the neck. And the head. Perfect. Oh my God. So we can close this here. We're going to call this stand. Okay. We're going to grab this pose, lower the shoulder, or both shoulders. Then a little bit more natural. We can only rotate. That's the only thing we can do. Okay. Put this a little bit forward. A little bit like this, a little bit more natural. Okay, I'm going to call it stand. And we're going to record this pose. Why? Because now if we do this, record this one, corner left arm. We're going to call it like as if he was being sent to the corner. And we're going to rotate this here, this hand a little bit there. Okay. And record that one. No, that's not the one that we want. The bind pose is the regular one that we want. This is the bind pose. That's perfect. But we wanted to add that one. A new one. So we have it like this. We go a little bit like that. Rotate a little bit like this here. Do this again. We add a pose. Okay. We apply the bind pose, which is the regular first one, or we go to this one. So now we can go between these two. Why is that cool? Because if we go back here and we wanted to make from the regular stand a new animation clip called corner left arm. We apply, we record, apply, and we see what this is doing. Okay? We stop recording. And then we go to the same, so we say we go to that one again. And from here, we want to say, we want to do a different kind of pose. It's like that, there, and so let's make it so it's like trying to separate. Oh, it's annoying. Probably because of there. again. You have to try and get it as good as you can with animation. This is like separate. We record another bind pose. We add a pose. So this one we got to call it, let's delete it and call it separate. Separate push. We add that pose. Go to this one, go to this one, go to bind pose. So again, you start tweaking here, and then if you create a new clip, you can just go to those poses a little bit more easily. Feels like you're doing work twice. I get it, but it's in a safer environment. So again, apply separate push. Let's stop. That's apply bind pose. From bind pose, record apply separate push. Gathers all those. Now you have that. And if you go to this one and you check it, it shows you this one. Go to separate push, you check it, it does that. These are animations that are actually in the animator. So, sorry about that lull in the middle. I'll try to edit that for future people over the week. But if you've gotten to see, just skip around here and there. That lull in the middle of setting up the animation is tedious. You're going to have to do it. I'm going to try to include these so that you already have them done, and then you can play with the referee. But the same thing would be done with the other characters. So you still have to position them at the script, and then be able to navigate through the types of postures that you want to see. Perhaps it's useful to have a script that allows you to move all of these in a more controllable way than just the animation clips. But you know, we're making this up as we go, and I hope that you can value the work that is being done, so that you can more safely play with animations and assets that we don't have a pipeline for at this moment. All right, well, I hope that this is useful in some way. Feel free to look at the script, learn from it, and contact us, especially the Scrum Masters and people who are in the classroom, and Juan Sanchez or myself at the numbers that you know to reach. Take care.